Adam stood before the tree of knowledge. The fruit, crimson and gleaming under the sunlight, whispered softly, "Eat, and you shall know." "Do not eat," said God. Yet, in that very moment, consciousness was born. Before reaching for the fruit, Adam was simply part of nature, like the birds, like the grass, living without knowing that he lived. But when he thought, when he doubted, when he chose, he stepped into the realm of humanity. And in that instant, he lost forever the innocence of Eden. Osho said, "The moment man knew he was forbidden, he became human." The story of Adam and Eve is not about sin, it is about the awakening of consciousness. The forbidden fruit was never just an apple. It was a symbol of knowledge, of the burning desire to know, to understand, to master the world. And from that first taste, humanity stepped out of serenity and into a world of choices, of fear, of suffering, but also a world of freedom. When Adam ate the fruit, he knew. He knew good and evil. He knew right and wrong. He knew he was naked. He knew he was different. That knowing, the doorway to civilization, was also the beginning of anxiety. From that moment, man no longer merely lived. He began to judge life. He no longer just felt, he began to compare. He no longer simply loved, he began to fear losing love. Osho said, "Before eating the fruit, Adam was unconscious. After eating, he became conscious. And with consciousness came the possibility of choosing wrongly." That is both the tragedy and the beauty of being human. To be free, yet bound to bear the weight of that freedom. Today, the forbidden fruit is no longer hanging from a tree. It has taken the form of information, technology, knowledge, and social media. We live in an age of digital forbidden fruits, where every tap of the screen whispers, "Know more, scroll more, become more." And once again, humanity keeps eating, consuming knowledge, attention, and fame, until we can no longer hear the faint whisper of our own soul. Osho once said, "Adam has been turned out, Adam has become human." Being cast out of Eden was not a punishment, it was a birth. When man was separated from nature, he was, for the first time, allowed to become himself. In losing his oneness, he began a journey of return, not to go back, but to rise beyond. The Garden of Eden is a symbol of the unconscious. Expulsion from it marks the great turning point of evolution, from instinct to awareness, from nature to man. But even that is not the end. To be human is not yet the destination. Osho said, "Man is only a bridge between the beast and the Buddha." Humanity is a process, not a final form. We are born not to remain as we are, but to transcend ourselves. When Adam realized he was naked, he covered himself. That first shame in human history was born alongside the ego. From that moment, humanity began to live through images, through who I am in the eyes of others. And that image today is nourished by likes, shares, and views, the modern versions of the fig leaves we use to cover ourselves. Osho warned, "The ego is a byproduct of knowledge. The more you know, the farther you move from yourself." We have eaten too many forbidden fruits of information, education, and fame, yet we still hunger for the true understanding of who we are. For accumulated knowledge can never replace living awareness. In Western philosophy, there is a concept called felix culpa, the happy fault. Osho loved this term. He said that Adam and Eve sinned, but it was a necessary sin, for without it, humanity would have remained in the shadow of ignorance. Through error, we awaken. Through suffering, we seek liberation. Through loss, we learn to see deeply. In the same way, every mistake in your life, every time you have eaten the forbidden fruit of desire, pride, or ambition, can become a gateway to enlightenment, if you dare to look at it without judgment. Sin continues only when we run from it, but the moment we turn and face it, light begins to enter. Today, Adam and Eve are no longer figures in the Bible. They are us, living amidst virtual worlds, social media, and the blue glow of our screens. We still reach for the forbidden fruit every day, when we peek into others' lives out of curiosity, when we envy the happiness we think they have, when we try to prove, "I'm fine." But exile from the garden no longer comes from God. It comes from our own restless hearts. We are cast out of serenity, out of stillness, by our endless hunger for validation. And once again, only when we stop, truly stop, can we hear the first voice in that inner garden. Not the voice of God, but the primordial voice of consciousness, still whispering, return, not to a place, but to yourself. Osho did not teach returning to the garden. He taught passing through knowledge, to reach freedom. He did not reject the forbidden fruit. He taught us to digest it. He did not ask us to escape life, but to live it fully, with awareness. He said, do not fear knowledge, but do not let knowledge hide your awareness. That is Osho's middle way, neither religious nor anti-religious, just the complete experience of what is. Adam and Eve had to leave the garden so that humanity could discover heaven is not somewhere outside. It exists where the mind is no longer divided, where knowing and unknowing become one. You do not need to search for Eden. You only need to stop running. When you are no longer afraid of being wrong, no longer afraid of losing, when you can live without needing an audience, then you have already returned. The Garden of Eden was never closed. Only the door within our own minds was locked by fear. And the forbidden fruit, it was only a mirror so that we might realize we don't need knowledge to become light. We are the light. Osho's final message. Adam and Eve did not commit a sin. They opened the age of humanity. And you, every time you awaken within suffering, are Adam and Eve returning to paradise.